Bit of a technical malfunction there. I do apologise, but many of those were had, especially yesterday. I have got the main man with me, Mr. Matthew Harrison. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, Craig. Thank you very much. All good.
Good, good. And you have got the shirt up, which I'm wearing tonight as well. So, um, lovely shirt, isn't it? Lovely, lovely
Yeah, it's
shirt.
a lovely classic.
It
Classic.
is, certainly is. Um, Of course, we're waiting for the room to fill up. Please, please, please do get involved. The link is in the description on YouTube. If you go onto the YouTube channel, you can find the link in there as well. If you're watching from Facebook or Twitter, Saints fans, you're welcome as well. We are, to be fair, we're not, we're a good bunch, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes. Let's have a quick look whilst we're waiting for things to hot up through these comments. So, hello, John Hope. And yes, John, you are early as well. Great win last night, but it's going to go down to the wire. Southampton are down for sure. And 37 will do it, and Sutton are down. And yes, sorry, we were a little bit late on the stream. Also, do put in the comments as well the answer to this question. So, do let us know during the show if you think 36 points is enough, if Saints are down, and how many points you think AFCB will get. Like I say, all Southampton fans are welcome as well. We don't bite here. We are nice enough. But yeah, well, whilst we're waiting for more people to join us, let's just play the Dental on the Tracks. Dental on the Tracks. See, that's how much we've been celebrating. Dental on the Banks theme tune. To find out what they can do for you, visit dentalonthebanks.co.uk. So we do have a message from Anna Doran here, just checking in for a few minutes to say hi. Fantastic game last night, great atmosphere, great result, great everything, Anna, and some amazing pictures and videos that you did send pop up on Facebook, actually, Anna. So, yes, did like seeing those. Please, 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 please do get involved as well if you are watching. I appreciate it is a Friday night. Probably there is going to be quite a few people out on the town, I think, probably after that, isn't there?
Yeah, more than likely.
Including a certain Mr. Cowlard. Can he drink?
He's out for a coke.
He's out for his Diet Coke. So let's start with, the lineups. When they come out yesterday, Matt, what was your initial thought? Because I was quietly surprised, and I thought, okay, looks all right. What did you think?
Uh, yeah, I was pleased that Vina was getting a start.
Yeah,
The game looked good yesterday. Um, Shame his goal was chalked off, but yeah, pleasing to see him back in.
Hmm.
Glad to see Marcus Sensei back in. So yeah, it was pleased all round really.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
lineup.
I can only echo that. I thought, the lineup was strong. The setup was strong. And I thought Southampton though, and hopefully some Saints fans can give their views on this. But I thought they were weak. I thought they were very, very poor. James Ward-Prowse, why did he go off?
Injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think something like that, or sickness bug or something.
Yeah. There was they didn't just take him off for any. You don't take your best player off for just
Yeah,
no reason, do you? So there must have been some reason why he was taken off, but
yeah.
not a bad thing on our part.
No, of course, he's a fantastic free kick taker, and yeah, I was quite, I was quite surprised at half time, when they took him off. But when I saw the Southampton lineup, I didn't really think there was much to fear. Did you?
Um, Not really. No, it's they seem to not be the side they were sort of 2-3 years ago.
Mm,
I was thinking last night, looking back through the squad and that, and the last time we played them, they had a much stronger squad than
yeah.
this time round. I mean, no disrespect, but they almost look like a championship squad now. And
Mhm.
watching them last night did make me think, if they don't really sort themselves out in the summer, they might be a type of side that might spiral downwards again.
I don't think they'd go further than Championship, but then again, you've
They have
heard
done before.
stranger things have happened, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
I got a feeling last night from their home support that there's the fan base is really not happy, really not happy,
mhm.
and you
Yeah,
can see why. You can see why. And I think they are dead and buried now.
yeah,
That's I know mathematically it's not, but I can't see them winning their next 5 games or getting many points from their next 5 games to stay up. So unfortunately, they're gone.
yeah. And I think I'll. Do you know what? I'm going to miss them. I am going to miss them because it is that local rivalry. They say that they're not rivals of ours and things like that, but you know, th- I think it's nice to have them just down the road, and that bit of banter, isn't it?
I ain't bothered.
Uh,
No, no, not at all. Not at all. I mean, like the Dan, was it Dan that come on this week
yes,
in the
Dan
preview?
Hargrave. Yes.
Like Dan said,
Mhm.
yeah, they see this as a game, but a derby game, but it's nothing on the scale to other derby games
Mhm.
and what they feel against Portsmouth. So you know th- they're not overly bothered by us, are they? And I'm not bothered whether they're in the league or not. To be fair,
No, no, that's very true. Very, very true. But of course, we kicked off at 7:45 yesterday, and I think we got off to. I think Southampton started fairly strongly, but we found our foothold in the game quite early on. And there's a lot of criticism about, we've gone over this several times. Gary O'Neill and the criticism. I think he's got that spot on yesterday.
um, yes and no.
Go on.
Well, look how defensive we ended up playing. We invited
Yes.
the pressure on for the goal.
Mhm. That last 20 minutes. But then again, it wasn't a goal. It wasn't a goal. But
No,
then
it
again,
wasn't a goal. Wasn't a goal. But then again, you know, if VAR had said that was a goal, it's a goal,
mhm,
regardless to whether he was a toenail offside or whatever. Um, no. The disappointing thing for me was how we sat back.
Yeah.
You know, it away from home, we're winning 1-0 against a relegation rival, and we decide to sit back like that.
Mhm.
For me, that's just big no, big no.
No.
And this
Good.
is where I can see where the fan base do get frustrated.
Mm. I think it was, I think we coped with everything defensively well, apart from that one incident, of course, that come in to Che Adams.
Yeah,
There was that point where Neto had to head it out as well.
yeah. Neto did flap a bit on a few occasions last night.
Yeah.
I thought Kelly had a stronger game.
Mm.
Um, but we're not good enough to invite the pressure onto us all the time,
No.
and that's got to be a management decision.
And against a stronger team, that is where it's going to be dangerous. Southampton, it wasn't too bad because they are poor. They're disappointing, really.
Yeah,
But of course, there was two penalty shouts as well within the game, and those two penalty shouts. One was Maitland-Niles, where he literally rolled down his arm and onto his hand, and the second one was Bednarak as well. Um, what was your view of either of those? Because I thought,
well, we have got a bit of a penalty debate coming up a bit later on.
mhm,
So,
yeah,
uh, yeah, I when are we going to get a penalty?
mhm,
You know what I mean? It's just one of them, isn't it? I mean, I've gathered up a few penalty decisions over the season, some given,
yeah,
some not, and it's interesting when you compare the difference between them all.
mhm.
Um, it's just inconsistent, isn't it?
It's like that one at Newcastle where it's hit his hand, and also the one at West Ham where Zamora couldn't get his hand out the way. Um, there is those two situations, and then you compare it to that yesterday. I think the Maitland-Niles one was Stonewall. He's rolled his head. He's got his head on it. He's just rolled down his body onto his arm, and then he's moved his arms.
Mm. Yeah,
And I just think the refereeing in this division, especially with VAR, there's got to be some sort of consistency, like Mark Halsey said.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But there's no consistency at all
Mhm.
for any of it, for any team, for whatever. There's just no consistency in that at all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Just a couple of comments here as well. Um, Max, Gary O'Neill pisses me off with sitting
Uh,
back in like 10 minutes because, not being funny, I know we would concede late and I got called an idiot saying we'll be fine and paid the price until VAR saved our ass. Um, and Max again, still no penalties for Bournemouth this season, and other 19 teams have had a pen this season. And Doug, please, please, please do come on. It's good to see you. Again, please do come on. The link is in the description. We always like you coming on. I wonder if Mr. Chris is around. Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Because of course he was saying that we're not out of it. And to be fair, the other day on his show, I said I don't think we are actually. I think the results of, but then again, those results yesterday, Everton getting thrashed, put nicely, by Newcastle, um, along with our win. I I think I think that's it.
yeah,
I
look
think
who
that's
it
it.
is.
Oh, we do have a special guest here, and it is the one and only Mr. Lawrence Martin. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Am I live? Is that okay? I'm
You
all
are
set.
live, Lawrence. You are live. Go
All I'm
for it.
live, yeah. Everybody happy?
All good.
Oh, Absolutely delighted, Lawrence.
Are you happy? Yeah.
Yes,
I
we
even got
are.
my head. Look, I got my head tattooed this morning.
Oh, quality. Let's see it. Let's close
Look,
up.
see?
We need a close up.
Cherries.
Oh, excellent, mate. I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm guessing that yourself and Sally watched the game yesterday.
What she didn't, I did. She watched the replay. I had to go because it's on when we're at work, so I went to go home and watch it, obviously. But she saw it later on. Um, it was blimey. I mean, I predicted that a month ago that we would win, so I got it right. I said 16 points in April, and if we win Sunday, we'll get 15 points.
Bloody hell. Mind reader. I tell you what, off by 1 point. Off by 1 point. But I tell you what a result that was.
Oh man, yeah, blimey. It was very nerve wracking, wasn't it? Especially at the end when they scored. I was like, oh fuck. Excuse me.
That's all right. You go for it, Lawrence.
Oh god, but that was VAR. It was. I mean, it was just the same as our one, though. It's about the same distance, wasn't it? The one we didn't get.
Yeah, it was. I personally think that first one should have counted for us.
Yeah, and we
I
should
think
have
it was
penalty.
so close. And yes, we was just talking about that. The penalty shouts. So,
Yeah, I mean, penalty. It was, but anybody else would have got that.
well,
Yeah,
what's
absolutely.
happened? Maitland Niles, he's got it on his head. It's hit his head, and then it's rolled down his body. And it's, if it's an accidental handball, I can understand. Not being able to get your hands out of the way, like Zamora did at West Ham, and it was still given against him. But
Yeah,
what he did was he had his hands bowed down by his front, and he flicked the ball forwards.
just them flicking guys. Man, he's a bit of a flicker. I know.
I didn't think of that, did I?
Well, there you go. So anyway, so it all works out great in the end, right?
It did. And what did you make of the goal? Because I tell you what, this goal.
Well, I don't know how he got those legs. To be honest with you, I mean that's what first thing my wife said. Blimey, it went through all those legs. It was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, there were so many Southampton players in the box, and I was surprised when I watched it back.
I think.
Yeah, when I watched it back, I thought, well, that's a fantastic goal because of how many players are in the box, and he's managed to get it through the middle of all of them. So
he has.
He's a quality player. Just a quick comment. Here we are, Wayne Walden. Good evening, mate. And of course, our friend from Fulham. I'd just like to say well done, Bournemouth, on your win over Southampton. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm hoping that we'll be able to have another game at Craven Cottage. One of my favourite grounds to visit, that is. What do you think of Craven Cottage, Lawrence?
I've never been there, but I've been past it. The London Brewery's right there, right?
It is, yeah.
So it's got to be.
I tell you what, it's a quality stadium. Quality stadium to go to. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I want to. I was definitely going to try and get over for a game this year, but I don't know if I'm going to make it now. I'm going to Canada in a couple of weeks. Well, in a couple of days, actually. So I'll be gone for another 2 weeks when I come back. I wouldn't mind going to see the Everton game.
The last game of the season.
So
it's going to be a bit feisty, isn't it?
Yeah, all those people that said that they wanted, well, we should have an experienced manager, like Everton, like all these other teams that got the experienced managers. Where are they?
Well, exactly. They're not on here at the moment because I tell you what, I've been behind Gary. You know me, Lawrence. I've been behind Gary from day one, and I think he's a young manager. He's not always got it right, but he's determined, isn't he?
I told you he's going to be the next Eddie Howe. Not even Eddie won 3 away games on the trot.
Exactly. Actually, that is a statistic that come out yesterday, and they're not 3 easy away games. because
No.
two of them were against relegation rivals, always
Yeah.
fighting, trying to get anything they can. Those aren't easy games. And one of them's against Tottenham Hotspur,
Yeah.
albeit probably that's the easiest of the lot. You look at in
I,
recent
I
form.
heard him. He said that the two managers today are the youngest ones in the Premier League. So that was crazy. The two guys there, two managers.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruben Sellers is, and I think he'll do. I think he'll have a good career in management because he seems. I watched his interview afterwards, and I think he seemed very, very clued up. And I
Yeah.
think, Dan, who we had on for our opposition preview show, was very much like, no, I don't think we should keep hold of Ruben Sellers. Be it go down, stay up. I personally think that Southampton would do well to keep hold of him, and I
Well,
think they've got a decent
especially in
manager.
the championship.
Yeah, exactly. The
Well,
first time,
that he was at the West Ham game watching Bournemouth play, and the goals coming from the corners and everything. But I think he made a big mistake because all those corners they had in the beginning are all short corners. I couldn't understand that.
it didn't make any sense, did it? But then
No,
again, you know, how good in the air are Southampton? Didn't particularly do anything. I haven't really seen much of their aerial threat really this season. I don't think they have got much. What do you make of Theo Walcott? Because I think we contained him really well.
well, he was. Well, we tried to sign him. He didn't want to come to us, did he?
No.
So he's got what he deserves. He basically has resurrected his career a little bit, I think, because they didn't play him at the beginning very much, did they? Now he's kind of. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think he looked. There was moments where he looked threatening, but without that end product. And I
Yeah.
wonder that's why maybe Theo Walcott is a good player. He's one of those players that can pass the ball to, but he hasn't got the legs maybe to get in behind people at the moment. I'm not sure, but of course it's not been working for Southampton this year. But we was in complete control, weren't we? For a good 70
You
minutes of
know
that
what?
game.
I think the back of the net they do that little blog thing afterwards, and there's a couple of. I mean, most of the people on there were saying, "Oh, we didn't play very well. We didn't do this." I thought we played bloody great. I mean, we passed the
Yeah,
ball amazingly. I looked at some of the videos I took, and we put like I don't know 10 passes together, bang, 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 but didn't score a goal. But it, they were really good. I thought they were great.
yeah, I did.
Some
I
people have
thought
never.
outstanding.
Oh, he should have brought the substitute on quicker. He should have done this. He should have done that. Mind, we won, mate. Come on.
Exactly. After all the stuff that we've watched throughout the years, we've been right down to the very bottom, and this is a treat to watch, isn't it? Really, these
It was
years.
amazing. It really was. I thought they played great. And then they brought that Uruguayan guy on? The one that's been injured forever. So that's
Yes,
a bit of a godsend that we've got him right at the end of the season. I mean, he played 19, 20 times for his country. That's amazing.
yeah, he has for the Ukraine.
Was he 20 years old or something? 19, 20?
I think so. I used to call him Zabarini, but he's pronounced Zabania.
Of course.
I turned him Italian.
He's Italian.
No, he's Ukrainian, but of course,
I
I
see.
called him Zabarini, but that sounded Italian. That did, he's but I think he looks good. He's a big unit, isn't he, as well?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think he's going to, as long as he stays with us, because, he may, especially if we stay up, he should stay with us. I mean, what we paid 20 million for him?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And even when he was injured, we still played 20 million, knowing he'd come good at the end of the season.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be an asset next season. We've got
Yeah.
a message from Max here.
Right.
I think we're definitely safe now. If we beat Leeds Sunday,
Oh.
we go above Chelsea.
Well, you know what I said? I said that we're going to finish above Chelsea.
Do you seriously think we will?
Well, we play them at home, right?
We do, yes, we do play them at home, and we've got such a good track record against them.
So, yeah, I mean, it could well happen, couldn't it?
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Frank hasn't really set the world alight there, has he?
All of these experienced managers, they do really good. Lost 5 in a row.
Yeah. See, one thing when I was on the Talk TV program the other day, and I don't know if you've seen that clip, Lawrence, when I was on Talk TV with Mark Saggers and Tony Cottee, and Mark
really?
Saggers made a really, really good point. Yeah, so it's on one of the other videos. You should have the Talk TV logo in there. But Mark Saggers made a really, really good point about these international coaches. So, say for example, we brought in Marcelo Bielsa, and actually, when I spoke to Dan Moylan as well, ahead of the Leeds game, we was talking about Marcelo Bielsa. And Mark Saggers said, effectively what a lot of these international coaches do, they come here for a period of time. They don't have an affinity to a football club like Gary will, like Eddie did.
Right.
And then they just disappear off onto their next job.
And shaking off they go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I think Bielsa, I don't think you could honestly say that Bielsa would have done any better than Gary O'Neill.
No, I don't think they would. No, especially all the guys he's brought in, and they're all newbies. None of them have been in management, have they? All the guys under him, all the ex-Bournemouth guys, El Pick and all that, whatever. None of them have been in management, have they?
No, none at all. None at all.
I mean, that's amazing, really.
I think it's good because they're determined to make a name for themselves. See, when I spoke to Dan, the Leeds fan, he basically said Bielsa, it would be, a great, year or so that he's here. We'd be playing really exciting, free-flowing football. It would be end to end, but it would all go stale. It would all go stale eventually.
And that was the Leeds. Was he a Leeds manager, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he would have wanted everything his own way, and it cost a fortune.
Yep.
Yeah, the one thing I think I've told you before that my great grandfather was actually a founding member of Southampton Football Club. Ooh,
there we are. Some Southampton fans are probably watching this as well.
The same initials, but from Harland and Wolff, that's where it started off, and then Docks. But I've always been a Cherries fan. I've never actually met my grandfather, obviously great grandfather, or any of my grandfathers. But so there's a bit of history there. All my family all came from Totton or Bitton, Shirley, and all around that way. But I'm a Bournemouth boy.
Exactly. We wouldn't want it any other way, Lawrence.
No way.
You're Bournemouth through and through.
Through and through, matey. Yeah. If they cut me open, it'd say Bournemouth all the way through.
We was talking about Southampton, where they go from here, though. Do you think? Well, firstly, I think Southampton are gone. I'm pretty sure, most fans, even Southampton fans, will probably admit that after that result.
Yeah, we need their stadium. That's what we want. I mean, I think Bournemouth play much better in front of a big crowd and a big stadium. At home, they're not so, like West Ham. I think when they go and play away at these big stadiums, they get a different vibe going. They like the atmosphere, and so we got to build this new stadium pretty quick.
Yeah, although, would you like, say for example, if we just redeveloped Dean Court, maybe filled in the corners, made it up to about 15, 16,000. Do you think that would be enough, or do you think we just have to go for new facilities?
I that we got a giant car park there, right?
We do, yes.
Okay, so we build the stadium on the car park, a big stadium. We knocked down the stadium we got and turned that into the car park, and then on top of the stadium, we have a heliport. We have a helicopter landing things.
Yeah.
So we can fly all the players to the new training ground. So it's really quick. They just go off they go, and they're there back, and things done. That's the way they got to do it. You got to think like Foley. You know, you got to think big, right?
Well, exactly. And let's be honest, he brought ice hockey to the desert.
He did.
You
Yeah.
know, that. Let's be fair. You know, when
Yeah.
you think of Las Vegas, you don't think of ice hockey, do you?
No, you don't. No.
But with regards to what we do next season, Lawrence, you know, because it looks like, do you think we're safe now, or do you think we need a couple more points?
I think if we don't get any more points, we're just scraped through. But if we beat Leeds on Sunday, I mean, when we beat Leeds on Sunday,
Yeah.
That's it, right? Even 1
Yeah.
point on Sunday. They didn't play that good. I watched the Leeds Leicester game. That Madison and what's the other guy on the other team begins with an M too. Those two guys that are one on Leeds and one on Leicester. Banbury, is it? Banbury and Madison? Bamford.
Yeah.
If we get those two guys, if they played together, I think they'd be really good.
But then again, Leeds are in dire straits because if they get beat by us, they've got Man City next. Their fixtures are horrible.
And that's be absolutely great. I don't know if you were around when they played that game and we lost and we got relegated and they got promoted and they smashed the town up.
Yes.
And so, hey Tony, come and say hello here. This is the guy that come in here.
Hello.
So he's a Dodger fan, right?
Hello, you all right? How you doing?
How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, all good.
We're awesome. See, there you go. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, so they beat the town up, smashed all the windows, and they won. So what the hell are they going to do when they lose?
I think it would be probably a bit more dignified than back then, wouldn't it?
I don't know. You know, we still suffer from that. Like on bank holidays, we have to have all the police and all this crap. That's because of that Leeds game. It's still sticking with us.
Wasn't it? It was only a couple of years ago that we started allowing bank holiday games, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, but that's what happened with that Leeds one. That was like, whoa.
Yeah. No,
so, ooze, right? But you know, I did put a little.
Oh, I think we've lost Lawrence. Well, hopefully Lawrence is back. If you can hear us, Lawrence. Oh, there we are. You're back. Yes.
That was it. That was my disappearing act.
As you were saying.
That was amazing. But what were we talking about? Leeds, right? Yeah. There was a young lady from Leeds. You know that one, right?
I think so.
Well, look, I'm probably going to have to leave you in a second because I've got these customers all lined up here because I'm just, you know, it's the middle of the day here and I'm working. It's on a Friday. So they need my assistance. How much is this? How much is that? You know? Day, right? And let's do it for next season, you said, right?
Yes.
I think we should just stay the same if we, you know, keep as many players as we can, and then Foley's probably going to put some really good money into a couple of players, you know. And who knows? I think we should be above mid-table next year.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But Lawrence, absolute pleasure to have you on. You're always welcome on this show.
I'm on one of the other ones. I missed the number 33 one. I totally didn't see any reference to it, so I didn't twig in on that one. Sorry.
You'll have to. Yeah, you'll have to go back. I think it's on 2 cherry pickings ago, wasn't it? 2 cherry pickings ago. Yes. When we was discussing West Ham. So yeah, do go check it out. The number 33, and then we've had number 9. Actually, we haven't got a number, have we? We haven't got a number for next one.
No, we haven't.
No. Lawrence, before you go, what's the next number going to be?
Come here. Here comes Sally. I'm going to say pick a number. Come in here, next to me. Here.
I gotta go.
So just come here a second.
Okay.
Down.
Hello, Sally. You all right? How you doing?
Good, good.
All right. So you got to pick a number. Say pick a number from 1 to 25.
Me?
Yes.
1 to 25? I'll
Yeah.
pick 13.
Whoa, 13.
13.
13.
That's an interesting one. An interesting one. There we go. So that number is locked in for cherry picking this week. Number 13.
What day would that?
Matt's just making a note of it now.
13.
What day would that be?
Well, you're more than welcome to come on as normal. It will be on Thursday. We'll be recording that. So come
Right,
along, Lawrence.
We can do it from Vancouver.
Oh, very
Yes.
nice.
Very nice. You've got to give us a little bit of a tour, though. We do like the tours.
Okay, you can do a tour.
All right, mate. Go. You want to tour around the shop?
Oh, let's go for a tour. Yeah, let's go for a tour around the shop if you got
Let me
time.
see. Am I gonna? So I have to turn. How do I work that? Let me see. I just turn it around like that, right? Can you see anything?
Yes, we can.
Okay, there's some customers in here. That's Joseph over there with the Iron
Hello,
Maiden.
Joseph. You all right?
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Oh man. So we got there Lincoln Park sign with tickets and the whole thing. So
Oh,
it's had
excellent.
all the way down there and records, and then look at this. You ever seen as many records and cassettes as in here? Look at that.
Jesus.
Holy tamale, we got
Excellent stuff.
records, and then out the back there's a whole ghost town out there. So who's this over here? How you doing, matey? Doing good. We got audio equipment, all that stuff. So there you go. There's a quick tour for you.
Look at that, Lawrence. I tell you what, it's good, mate. It's good. And I guess is it mostly rock
No,
bands that you got?
it's everything you
CDs
can
on?
think of. We even got some opera.
Some opera.
But it's mostly like here we got, look, you got guitar, flamenco, Japanese,
Excellent.
and you got Latin, you got Def Leppard.
Oh, yeah, that's my kind of thing, yeah.
These are new ones though, Def Leppard here.
We got some Britney Spears for Max.
We do mostly vintage, but if you want heavy metal, over here there's more Def Leppard, but that's an older one. See, can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Older ones, there's Iron Maiden.
Oh, yes.
All these ones. That's what you like, right?
Oh, yeah. Bit of Aussie.
Do you know what? I'm going to make you full screen, Lawrence, because we're quite enjoying looking through these.
All right.
Ozzy Osbourne, there he is.
Aussie.
Yeah.
Aussie. What do you got there? Cream. All kinds of stuff. Who's that? Electronica. Oh, look at that. Da 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 da. Deep Purple.
Deep Purple.
Oh,
Lovely.
excellent stuff.
You have to come over and get some.
Yes.
What's
Yeah,
the next
most
one?
definitely. Most definitely.
Purple, Tangerine Dream. You like them?
What the Hoople?
All the young dudes.
All the young
yeah.
dudes.
There you go.
I could be here all day.
What about,
Do you know what? I think we should just do a show full of this. You know.
Then we got over here. It's all the way down. It's Elvis, Sinatra, blues, and all. This is all hip hop over here.
Is it?
Hip hop, maybe. And then you got what you got? Books and crap. Much more crap. And what have we got here? So we got Aerosmith, Amber.
We do have a request here, actually, from Paul.
Yeah.
From Paul in Australia. What is the price of your Beatle LPs?
The price of what?
The Beatle LPs.
Oh man,
we could make a sale here.
We got boxes of them.
Oh,
where's the
there we are,
mate? We got some over here, right?
Yeah, there's a whole row up there.
The band, the Bee Gees. Come and show me.
Should be up there. If not, we have all their overflow right here.
We got 2 boxes of overflow Beatles
Yeah, at least over here.
over here, but we do have.
Should be right on
Let me see.
Okay, well, let me remove the comments so we can have a look.
No, whether is that him?
No, this should be right here, though.
Josh.
I can't believe this has
Oh,
gone
it's
from
Rico.
Southampton free for all to a bargain hunt. What is-
Videos, there we are.
Ah.
So, which one do you want? We got
There we are, Paul. Tell
White
tell Lawrence which one you want.
the Beatles. This one that's the first one. That's the first
Oh,
Beatle. That's
crikey,
30.
that's an old one, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
must be. Well, there's a
got
lot. They're all going to be old,
The
but
Beatles, yeah, and it's in great shape.
I'll
It
give you a
is.
fiver for it.
oh, that's a historic one there.
And there's the Magical Mystery Tour. This is like Bournemouth, the Magical Mystery Tour.
Is it 2 for a tenner?
There we go. We got that one. Revolver. See, it all depends on the pressing. If it's a first pressing or a later pressing, you know. Rubber Soul.
Oh, Rubber Soul. That's a historic one. Oh, we've got Abbey Road.
This
Abbey
one-
Road.
Abbey Road.
Abbey Road here. Yeah, we've got all those ones.
Oh, have you? How much is it? Because Paul,
I'll
Australia
look it
wants to
up
know.
and show and get it out of the overflow box because I don't look like I got one in there. We got Abbey Road there.
I absolutely love this.
Paul McCartney. Then you got Wings and Sally's favorite is George. So she loves George. There he is.
Oh,
You like George?
yes.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
All right, we got. Yeah, George. And that's the all things must pass, you know.
I'll tell you what, I do have another request actually in a moment for somebody, but have you got any Queen LPs? Because this is going to be quite interesting. There we are, Matt.
We got any
Here we
Queen?
go.
Yeah, over there to your right, your left.
Oh, excellent. Look at this. I've asked especially for you, Matt.
Where's Queen? So you're gonna do the coronation then? Oh, over here's Queen.
Oh, here we go. Do you know what? We should do a whole show dedicated to this. It's not going to be anything about football, but it'll just
What we
be
got?
going through
Yeah, we got this
Lawrence's records.
Oh, yeah. News of the
Oh,
world.
yes.
one. Queen.
Greatest hits.
Great
Like the
quality as well.
Night of the Opera.
Night at the Opera.
Oh, there's a new.
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits.
And this is a new reissued one.
Original.
Original one. This Queen
Okay.
game. I'd like that one. That's a good one.
Wow.
Yeah. And a few more.
Second album. First album.
Oh,
Guys,
Queen's first album, yeah.
I got the customer helping me here.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Wow, there you go.
I wish I could go back and tell my 2007 self to pick it up when they were $1.
Yeah, yeah. They do, yeah. Rock and roll is really it's hard to find it, you know. So this band here is really great. Triumph, that's a Canadian band, and I watched the whole film about them on the last time I flew up to Canada, and it was amazing. And the music's really good. I don't know if you know them. Triumph.
I
Is
don't actually, but you know what? I'm going to have to Spotify it now.
Triumph, they're really good, man. And they, I got a few of them here. Another one. It's only $8 for this one. Not many people know them. That's why. Then you got Nazareth. You like Nazareth?
Oh, yeah, Nazareth.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you got any favourite types of music, Doug? Doug has just joined us.
I'm quite a big Queen fan. So anything by Queen is good for me.
We just we do have
just
a
had
Doug
the
plug
Queen.
somewhere. There's a punk rock band, right? Doug the Slug.
Doug the Slug.
That's a slug.
Well, just like to welcome you to Bargain Hunt, Doug. We've changed the stream now. Our Bargain Hunt.
Guess who this is? Okay, gotta guess who this is. Who's that?
Oh, brilliant.
Oh,
Oh, my words. That's Richard Pryor, is it?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Not though.
yeah, Richard Pryor.
It's not that's Richard Pryor in the back, but this is not him here. Who is this?
James
This
Brown?
is- What's his name? White. Barry White.
Barry White.
When he was really, really young, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that enough for you?
yeah,
That's
lovely,
I tell you
lovely.
what,
Yeah,
absolutely love that.
I
I tell you
tap-
what, Lawrence, we're gonna have to get you on, and you can go send us on.
You know what? Years ago, people used to mistake me for Elton John. And one time, I'll tell you a story, right? One time, when because he was manager or director of Watford, right?
Yeah.
And he came to Bournemouth to buy, to look at a couple of our players, and he was in town, and it was all in the paper and the whole thing. And I had these blue and white and speckled glasses at the time, and I did look a lot like him because I did the teeth and the whole thing. And I was walking through Bournemouth Gardens, and all the people were looking at me thinking I was fucking Elton John. But then I went to the Royal Exeter bar, right? The Buccaneer bar it was called. I don't know if it's still called that.
Yeah.
The Buccaneer bar. I went in there and I sat down at the table, and guess what? He was sat on the table behind me. It was unbelievable. Yeah. So yeah, so that's my little story of Elton John. But I go down to Mexico and people would think I was Elton John, and then the girls would come up and want to get their pictures taken, right? And then they'd leave because he's gay, isn't he? You know, didn't do me any good at all. It was really bad. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what?
There's more stuff here. There's another part of the shop. Oh look, Hillary Clinton, talking Hillary Clinton. This is all men's stuff here, right? My packing room's in there, and we got more antiques and all this stuff all down through. Then we got another whole shop next door.
Oh,
All these records just came in from Canada. So when I go up there, I buy lots of records up there because the dollar's cheaper up there.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So you've had your little walk around, right?
Yes, yeah, I've enjoyed this actually.
A lot of this stuff came from Bournemouth. So I used to do containers from there. So I got loads and loads of stuff in here, all these little bits and knickknacks. Go to Wimborne Market, which is now gone, right? I used to love Wimborne Market.
It has now gone. Yeah, it's all closed down now.
Yeah, they're going to build on it probably. The land's worth too much, isn't it? They just did that to here. The planets. Yeah, this is all like Edith Piaf. You know, we do all kinds of music. More jazz. We got some razzmatazz and contemporary. You like that? Cymbals and lots of cassettes. Cassettes are really in with the younger kids. They've redone Walkman now, right?
They have, yeah.
78s, the really old ones. So we have Cisco. Cisco is a Kid Dub. He's called. He does reggae shows.
Oh, is that the?
Reggae.
Oh, it's not Cisco the thong song, is it?
What is a local guy here? So we got
he?
up in here. Look, now look. I bet you've seen this. You see that there? That's a Rolling Stones poster. That's like $1,000.
Is it? Which the one with the?
Find one of those. That's what they cost. Yeah.
Oh wow.
There's another Rolling Stones up there. That's Steel Wheels. That's an old one. And this one's signed by Aerosmith. Right.
Rob Trent's just put vinyl.
Tyler, yeah. So that you know Tyler, the lead singer, right? Aerosmith.
Rob Trent's asked, have we got any NWOBHM?
What's that?
NWOBHM. Is that a band?
I'm sure we got lots of that. I don't know.
There we
Ali. I'm not sure who that is.
There we are. Look at
Well, there's a
this.
little walker through, matey.
Excellent stuff, mate.
So, Sean, do we have any? What's it called? Obi what?
NWOBHM. I've never heard of it.
OBHM? Say that one more time. I didn't hear you from here.
NWOBHM. Have you got any of that, Sean?
He's looking it up
We're
on the
looking it up
phone.
because off the top of my head, I don't recognize it.
He hasn't got any on the top of his head. I can definitely tell you.
I've never heard of them.
Do you see him or?
No.
What kind of music is it?
Well, we'll have to find out. Rob Trent, if you're still watching, what type of music is it?
It's today's Star
Oh.
Prize. You can win a Cherries hat. Cherries
Rob
hat with the
Trent's put, you youngsters, new wave of British heavy metal.
Oh,
Mm,
we'll have to get
Not
some
off
of
the top
those.
my head. No,
there
Is it
we are.
brand new then? Is it really a new one?
Um,
You got some AC/DC.
oh, look at that.
Hey.
1970s. They're from the
Oh, 70s. The 70s.
Yeah.
new wave of British heavy metal. 70s
Yeah,
and
so
the late 70s to 80s.
Yeah, those are like Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say yeah. So that's the
Oh,
movement.
so
It's
like
not
Iron
the.
Maiden and stuff?
See, now we got a discussion going
Yeah, I
here.
was
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have it.
Yeah, we have like.
It's not a band. It's just a movement.
Oh,
like
it's
an era.
yeah. It's just an era. It's not an actual band.
Everybody's loving this. Everybody's loving this. They've just put in their requests. We got Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
We got Bon Jovi. We could be here all
Well, we
day
got-
looking for CDs.
Kind of specialize in heavy metal. So you got to check out Triumph because they're really good and they're cheap.
Yes, I shall do. I shall do.
Black Sabbath.
Oh,
No, it's
crikey,
Mick
Black
Crew,
Sabbath.
right? Crew used to come around my house. Mick Mars would come around my house over
Yeah?
here. Yeah, because my ex girlfriend, whatever, she was oh blimey, what's the singer's girlfriend? Oh God, I can't think of his name. So they would come around to visit her, and and I wrote a song called "You Looking to Your Left, You Looking to Your Right, Are You Looking for a Fight?" And for her son, who's a drummer, and they came around and they stole the fucking thing, and it's on one of their albums. That's a true story. Yeah, there you go. You want Playboy? We got Playboys. Yeah.
I tell you what, don't get that out. We'll be, what do you call it?
We got
We'll
$3.
be banned.
Well, not for Playboy. They're $3 Playboy. Got Mickey Mouse. You want that?
Mickey Mouse. I bet it's a vintage one as well.
There we go.
Look at that.
Well, there you go, matey. Blimey, wearing me out.
Do you know what? I've enjoyed this. I tell you what we'll need to do is we'll need to go on a proper, hunt at the end of the season. Once the season's over, I'll tell you what, Lawrence, we'll organise it so people can put in their requests and you can show us. Have an hour where we can just go around the shop
and we can play some.
Yes, I'll tell you what, that sounds brilliant.
And if we get the Kid Dub guy going as well, because he does all the reggae. We've got boxes of reggae here.
Excellent. I love reggae. Bob Marley.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Believe it or not, I've been to his house.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah, in Mount Zion it is. I've been to his house.
Where was that? In San Francisco?
No, it's in Mount Zion in Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a long bloody journey up. You go all up into the mountains and everything, but I tell you what, it's an amazing place.
Oh.
It's Mount Zion, Jamaica.
I've been there a couple of times, but I haven't been there. Well, what about this? Look at this.
Oh, look at that.
The original Butcher Block album. Super rare. And this is Linkin Park. He actually killed himself. I think the guy on there, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a sign by him. Oh, I got one piece to show you now. Look, this is our big thing at the moment. I got this guitar from. Have you heard of Limp Bizkit?
Oh yes.
Wes Bowden.
Yep.
Okay, this is his guitar right here. Okay,
Oh wow.
that's his guitar, and I got the case, and I've got all the stuff to walk around the stage and play and do all that. So it's on. It's on. I think we got it on. Oh blimey! One of the What's that? What's that site we have the Lincoln Biscuit on?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The Lincoln Biscuit. What's that blog? I mean, the site we have it on.
I think Kurt put it on Reverb.
Yeah, Reverb. Okay. So
Oh yeah.
Reverb, I think it's $3,300.
Oh crikey.
It's so Jackson is the thing, but it's because it's his, right? You can see the videos. It's the one he's playing in the video.
I do. Yeah, I do recognise it. I do
All right.
recognise it.
I got
Look
this
at
one
that.
a couple of days ago. It's nothing special, a couple of $100. Well, you know, we do sell them. There's a silver one, a platinum one.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and this is really cool. This neon sign. It's the Genesis tour. So it's the hands. It's got Genesis, and then over there's a Budweiser one. It's got 5 colors. So that's a bow tie. It's called a bow tie one. It's like 970s. That's pretty expensive. And look at that. Who's this guy? I think that's one of Southampton's players there.
Oh, quality.
There's another one over
Quality.
there. So, okay. What's his name? He went off sick, right?
James Ward-Prowse, that is.
Yeah, he went off sick. There you go.
Well, I tell you what, this is amazing. But we're gonna have to do this end of the season, Lawrence. We'll get you back on.
Yeah.
And we will do a bit of a tour, and everybody can pop in their comments of what they want to see. How about that?
You got it. Yeah, let's go for it.
Excellent stuff. Thank you so much again for coming on, mate. It's
You're
always
welcome, man.
a pleasure.
Up
And
the cherries!
up the cherries. Cheers again,
Bye-bye.
Lawrence. All the best, mate. Take care.
Yeah.
See you soon. Bye-bye. And I tell you what, I really, really enjoyed that. Let's welcome on David Cordell. How you doing, mate?
Oh man, what a day that was yesterday, right?
Oh, it was. It was. You probably thought you tuned into the wrong show there, didn't you? Probably thought, hang on a second, we're going Bargain Hunt Storage Wars. I love getting Lawrence on.
I think you should actually go to LA sometime and see him, you know? Yeah. Well.
We're getting loads of comments about that. Hi, that's Laurie McMenemy. What a team that's and an exclamation mark from Rob Trent. Good to have you on, Rob, and feel free to jump on and join us at any point. And you're right, Doug, how you doing, mate? In between all of that, you did join us, but yeah, good to see you again, mate.
Yeah, it's good to be back on, and yeah, that was a massive win for you guys last night.
It was. I'm guessing that you saw it, David.
Yeah, no, it was on Peacock over here. It was good. I mean, the only thing I would say is I think we probably should have scored 4 or 5, which I think, you know, and that last minute thing where they nearly scored and VAR called it for us. So it was like, oh, the VAR gods are with us today. But you know, I do worry sometimes that we go back into our defensive show. I mean, to be fair, Southampton were coming at us, and you have to,
yes,
you know, you have to kind of fight back on that. But sorry, moving my but you know, it was a good performance, and as I said the other day to you, West Ham is now but a distant dream. And if we can send Leeds down on Sunday, or help send them down, that would be the sweetest revenge on a bank holiday weekend.
Oh, most definitely. Of course, this relegation battle is hotting up, but it's good that we're not in it. Do you think we need any more points, or do you think it's pretty much done now?
I like Gary's answer on that, which is you know, you go for, first of all, every place we finish higher, and finishing above Chelsea would be really great, we get £3 million, right? That's a lot of money. So yeah, you go for as many points as you can, and you don't get into this thing where you just want to survive. You want to get as high a place as possible. Now, that doesn't mean that I think Gary's the right answer long term.
Yeah.
That's going to be a whole nother issue, but I think he deserves a lot of credit and congratulations for taking a side that went through was losing 9-0 against
Yes.
Liverpool and getting us to safety. But as I said, I mean, they're going to need to make some long, hard decisions about where they want to go and what they want to do. And something I was saying, I think his contract was extended by a year because we were safe. Chris Temple was reporting that. And to me, that's actually, that's okay. But it doesn't mean he necessarily has to stay. I mean, remember, every position we go up goes to £3 million. So we could actually fund, if we decide we don't want to keep him, we could fund it by coming 12th or 11th.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Oh, Rolly. Yep, there certainly is. What I'll do is I will just quickly copy and paste. And there it is. Yeah, just click on that. It should be in the description as well. You should see it in the description. So honestly, just press on it and it will pop up. Matt, you have provided some slides again, haven't you, this week?
Yeah.
Yep. So what we'll do is we'll run through those. So mind the gap. All aboard, but mind the gap. Super Tav strikes again as Cherries sink the Saints. I think Southampton are. Let's quickly go through round the room. Are Southampton down now? I personally think there's no hope for them to get out of that, even if they went on a decent little run. I think other teams will get results which will sink them anyway.
Yeah, I think they're done. I mean, that was a team last night that looked beaten, and I mean, some of their passes were awful.
Crikey, yeah.
They were kind of giving it to us. And I heard there was someone who was telling me in the Southampton director's box, it got quite tasty there between the management and the fan and their fans. Sounds like I think we got the better owner.
Yes. Yep, most definitely. What do you reckon, Doug? Do you think Southampton are done?
Yeah, I do. I don't see them getting many points in the next couple of games. I think the one that they really, really have to win for me, I think, is Nottingham Forest. I think that's next Monday. But apart from that, I mean, I've looked at the fixtures, and Newcastle away, I don't see them getting any points out of Newcastle. And obviously, I think the Nottingham Forest game, Arsenal, I think they've got at home as no, I think they've got. They've obviously got us at the end of the season as well, but yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before we see Southampton have the R next to their name, and I think it's been coming a long time. Continuously, selling your best players is always going to come and bite you at some point, and I just think there's been decisions made at Southampton this season that have really been really, really poor. Getting rid of Hasenhüttl is obviously, I think, the biggest one. Then replacing them with Nathan Jones, which has been a disaster to say the very, very least. And I like Ruben Sellers. I think he comes across as a very, very nice guy, but I just think this job is just a little bit too big for him. But yeah, for me, I think Saints are gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about Newcastle, actually, we do have a Newcastle fan in the back room. Hello, Rowley. You all right?
Hi, Craig. Yeah, I'm great.
Excellent
Great
stuff.
wins for both of us last night.
It certainly was.
I think we may have put the final nail in the coffin of the Skip Rats, the Sky Smackers at Everton.
We've got them last game of the season, actually.
Yeah. But obviously, I first came across Craig when he came on Tony's channel. It's all black and white TV just before we played you at the Vitality.
Yeah.
You were really good. We got away with a point, and I said then that you'd survive. And I think though you're not mathematically safe, technically you are, because you'll get more points, and the teams below you aren't going to get to 36 points. I think Southampton are down. If they're not down, they will be tomorrow, because the mood we're in, it could be a cricket score, especially if we start to get going quickly, like we did against Spurs. I think they're gone. Everton, I think they're gone. I mean, their fixtures, obviously they played us tonight. They're away at Leicester. They were. I don't know if you heard anything about the game, but they had this big atmosphere before the game. They had them all in the streets singing with their blue flares, their fireworks before the game. The only fireworks in the match were when we started scoring.
I just want to add that this is a Newcastle cat. It's black and white.
Yeah,
No.
it's quite funny because once we got I think it's a third goal.
Yeah.
The place was empty apart from Geordie's. They're not a good side. They tried to bully us. I mean, we had Andre Mariner's ref, who was appalling. They're just kicking us. That's all they could do. And once we took the lead, they just fell apart. I think by the time you get to play them, they'll be down.
You think it's a good example, though, of like, you appoint a new manager, Sean Dyche, he gets 3 wins, and then you get the bounce, but the underlying performance of the team doesn't necessarily change, right?
I think the thing with that is you do get a new manager bounce of sort. A lot of it depends on who you're playing, but the quality's not there for it to make any difference with the amount of time that they have. When we so I got the other horse just calling me. When we got Eddie Howe in, it was in October, and it took us a long time to actually get going again, because it takes time, because you've got to get to know the players, then you've got to see how they fit in your system, you've got to check new ideas. When you do it late in the season, you haven't got that time to make changes on how you want to play.
I agree.
We see all these teams sacking their managers with like 10 games to go. So I don't see the point, because it's not going to make any difference.
Well, I think the argument is you get kind of that short bounce, right? That very short term, I've got to prove myself to the new manager, but it doesn't last. So if you're going to make the change, I mean, the best thing that happened with Bournemouth is we made the change with Parker very early on.
That's the whole point. You've got the time to change things.
And actually, if you're really going to make a change, and this is something we were talking about before, you got to make it at the end of the season. That's the best time.
Yeah, I think you made a very, very good. I think you made a very, very good point there, because when I look at Everton's squad at the moment, and let's be honest, like apart from obviously like Calvert-Lewin, Gray, McNeil, Onana, Gay, it's a good side. Like they should not be where they are, but the problem they have had all season, they don't score goals. They've only scored 25 league goals this season, the lowest of any other team in the Premier League. It just goes to show how poor Everton have been. But taking nothing away from Newcastle, they've been magnificent all season. And last night as well, I think the best moment of the game, obviously apart from Isaac completely terrorising Everton's complete defence, was the fact that you brought in Anthony Gordon, and literally the whole stadium had basically emptied, and all you could basically hear was a few boos, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. But no, like I think Newcastle, for me, I've obviously done like prediction show this evening. One of the things I said, I think Newcastle need 3 more wins with top 4 to guarantee themselves, basically. And at this moment in time, I can actually see you finishing 3rd, because Manchester United, for me, are very inconsistent at the moment. So all Newcastle have to do is basically just focus on themselves. But for me, I think you've got top 4. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, but basically, I think Liverpool can get to 71. I think Spurs can get to 89, I think it is. Sorry, 69, sorry. Was it 68? And we've got far superior goal difference from any of them. So, essentially... Liverpool still got to play Spurs at the weekend. They've still got to play Villa, 2 tough games. So I don't think they'll win all their games till the end of the season. So I think realistically 2 wins will get us top 4.
And I think you've done it. The best part is you've done it really without, yes, you've got a lot of money coming into the club, but you haven't bought that many new like what I would call really expensive players. You've done it with players who are there. I mean, I'm honest with you, I miss Eddie terribly. I think the best thing that happened for Eddie was to go to Newcastle. I think he'll bring you trophies. I think he'll bring you success.
Yeah.
I hope that someday when he comes back to retire, he might come back and spend a couple of years with us before he retires. And in between maybe do the England job. But he is the hardest working manager in football. I don't care what anybody else says. He's the first one in the room, in the office in the morning. He's the last one out at night. I think you saw it when he went up to Newcastle and fans were waiting outside the training ground. And he drove past them at like 6:30 at night, 7:30 at night on his first day. And then he drove the van back.
He arrived at 6 a.m. on his first day.
He does. That's what Eddie does.
Yeah. Liam is in the room. How you doing, Liam? Good to see you.
Yeah, good, thanks. What a win.
I'm just going to have to jump off now. I just wanted to really come on and congratulate you on staying in the Premier League. You shouldn't have any problems with Everton when you go down to their place because I think they've lost it. They really built up yesterday's game to be their cup final to kickstart them. It went out with a whimper. And I look forward to playing you next season.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Rolly. All the
You're
very best,
welcome.
mate. Take care. See you then, mate.
Bye.
How you doing, Liam? All right, mate?
Yeah.
Good.
What
good.
a win. That was
It
last
was amazing, wasn't it? What,
Fantastic.
was you there?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't.
Oh, but I'll tell you what, watch it on TV. I tell you what, brilliant atmosphere, at the end.
Yeah.
And in fact, there is a YouTube channel called Match Day Vlogs, which is run by Fuels and I think it's Mike, 2 Southampton fans. And the camera is positioned perfectly. It is positioned right at the Bournemouth fans, and you should see it when that goal goes in, the cheer, the VAR when it's actually when Che Adams' goal. Oh wow, it's not a goal, but it was ruled off for offside. Yeah,
I've seen Kirk's video. That was good.
Yeah, I tell you what, what an absolute amazing evening. An absolutely amazing evening.
Brilliant.
But what we've got here is we have got some slides that Matt has got. So do you fancy going through to the next slide, Matt?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, we can.
Here we go.
Full screen on this, or we stay like this?
Should we go full screen? Let's go full screen for the moment.
Oh, come on.
Go on.
Right, let's go.
I think I need to dye my cat red and white. Red and black. However, my wife, who is currently in Italy at the moment, will not be very happy at that thought if we came back and saw the red and black.
Do you know what? A red and black cat would be amazing, though.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how you'd do it, but
with this cat, I don't know how I would do it because he would bite me. He doesn't like me.
There is the statistics on the screen for you. Let me remove that banner down at the bottom so you can see it all. But more position for Southampton. But, to be honest, let's be fair, where it matters, more shots. And of course, we did only get the 2 on target, which is what Southampton got, but of course they were better quality. What do you reckon, guys, of those stats?
I think the biggest problem is you got to take that possession and that dominance, and you gotta get goals. I mean, that's the one thing that I think we need to work on next season is you gotta turn that advantage when you're winning the game and you're beating them up you need 2, 3, 4 goals.
Yeah,
it's that's definitely one area we've got to improve on is being more clinical in front of that goal. Definitely.
I feel we need another striker.
No, striker. To be honest, I don't disagree with that, Liam. I think we do.
I think we need a traditional number 9. I mean, Dom is fantastic. I think he's a wonderful player. His work ethic is unbelievable, but he's not a typical number 9, even though he wears the shirt.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And I think we need somebody who can partner Dom up front. I think Kiefer Moore, the only problem with Kiefer Moore, he's a big man, he's very good in the air. I think he is worthwhile keeping at the club for that sole reason. But I think we need somebody with Kiefer Moore's pace. He hasn't got the pace, has he?
Right.
So we need somebody who is a bit of a poacher, somebody who's got that pace, somebody whose sole reason is to go for goal and cause a menace.
So I was reminded years ago. Phil Boyer played like he fed Ted McDougall, and Ted McDougall was I wouldn't say he was like a hard worker or whatever, but he was a good goal poacher, and he was there and he put them away.
Yes.
And that's what you need. You need somebody to feed off Dom.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. That's a good point. Very good point.
He's not a greedy player as well, Dom Solanke.
You saw that against Tottenham, right? He could have taken a shot against Tottenham, but he passed it.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes he needs to be more greedy.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
That is a very good point as well.
So that is the statistics. Shall we have a look at the next slide?
Yeah, let's go.
By the way, we seem to play better when we play in the black shirt than the other shirt, right?
Yeah.
Although saying that was the shirt that we went to Liverpool in.
Oh well, okay. Well, with the exception of that, with the exception of playing in August.
Oh dear, we was up there, weren't we, Matt, for that?
Oh God, yeah. Forget about that.
Excuse my French, but I didn't see a way. I didn't see a way out of it at that point. Just a few comments as well. Sorry, I did flash up on the screen, but this is a very good point. I absolutely love this point that's been made here, because you know how much of a believer I am in Gary O'Neill. Eddie had 5 years before he managed the Premier League side. Gary has achieved a lot in one. Why get rid? And do you know what? That's a good point. The one thing I would say is we're not at the, we're not at the level that Eddie took over the football club at, which was when the football club was on its backside. We didn't have many options. However, and this is on the spin side, Gary O'Neill has done very, very well in a league, where not a lot of managers get their first job. It's pretty much unheard of, because it's a ruthless, unforgiving division, the Premier League. Let's be fair. There's 20 teams, of which you could say the top 7 now are in their own little mini league. All right, Chelsea this year. So let's call it top 6 this year. It's very, very difficult to break into that. And the rest of them are always looking over their shoulder. So it's such an unforgiving division. And he's done a fantastic job, personally, with a squad that was everybody tipped to go down as a bad bottom. So I think full credit to him.
Look, I'm not going to disagree. I'm trying to do some work here at the same time. I'm not going to disagree with you. I think he deserves it. I'm not going to disagree on what he's done. I think he's done an amazing job, and he deserves a lot of credit. And the people who call him names and call him whatever should be ashamed of themselves, because there was no need for any of that. I think he's done a really. His job was to keep us in the division, and he's done that.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, I think it was Rob Trent saying, why not keep him then? It depends what we want to do, right? I think Mr. Foley's an ambitious person. He may well decide to keep him because he may say you gotta reward him. But if you really want to be a top 10 side, is he the right person to take us to that next level?
Yeah.
And the inexperience still worries me because he doesn't, he still made mistakes this year and he learned from them. I will give him that credit. But he doesn't really have, as far as I can tell, a philosophy. It's not like you can say that's Eddie's style of playing. It's like he adapts it, which maybe is not a bad thing to do, but I don't see a real philosophy. And I would say that if you're going to make the change, it would be better to make it in the off season so you can give whichever coach the chance to get their system in place. But having said that, it is a risk because people will say if that person doesn't do well, then why didn't we keep Gary? So, they're going to have to make a decision. At the end of the day, it's Bill Foley's decision, and he has to decide what he's comfortable with. But I will say, if you look at his record at the Las Vegas Knights, he has not been afraid to make changes at times he felt the team wasn't progressing.
It's quite interesting you mentioned that because he has been quite ruthless, hasn't he? But Liam, Gary O'Neill, would you keep him for next season, or do you think, because let's be honest, Bill Foley isn't going to be happy with just avoiding relegation next season? Do we make a change?
I would keep him for a few months, maybe. See how he does.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like is when we go defensive.
Yeah.
When we need a goal late on, why go defensive?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, the problem that we're keeping him for a few months is then you have the same problem that we had this year, which is it's harder to get a really good manager to come in who can't put their stamp on in the preseason, right? So a lot of times people were looking at Bielsa, for example. I'm not saying Bielsa is the answer, but Bielsa needs time to get his system in place.
Yeah.
Another one that was mentioned but kind of went quiet was Knutson. But I mean, ideally, the other option would be, could you keep Gary and bring in somebody a little bit more experienced to help him? But then would Gary accept that? Probably not, because he's had taste of being the manager now. Could you bring in some more coaching staff to help him? Because although I think Tommy and who is it? Who's the other coach?
Sean Cooper.
Sean Cooper, yes.
Sean Cooper, right? I mean, I think they're great coaches. I think Sean in particular is a wonderful coach. But could they do with a little bit more experience to help them in the coaching?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a difficult one, but that's why you have an owner, and that's why they get to pay the big bucks to make those decisions.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Doug?
I think Gary O'Neill's done a magnificent job because we all remember I think you said it on, I think it was 606, Craig. I think you said it at the time that you thought Parker was going to get the boot after the Liverpool game, and obviously what happened. Gary O'Neill's come in, and look, he was actually under 19s or under 20s manager Liverpool, so he's obviously got a little bit of experience there. I think it'd be very harsh to get rid of him. I think he has to have a full pre-season. I don't think he didn't really have a full pre-season. I think if you give him a full pre-season, see what he can do, give him the transfer window, and then obviously see how you do next season. Because let's be honest, 36 points is definitely enough. I mean, if you beat Leeds, you're on level on points with Chelsea,
and if we beat Chelsea,
39 points.
And if we beat Chelsea, we'll be above them.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, who isn't going to finish above Chelsea this season? Is the safest thing. I mean, honestly, no. I think Gary O'Neill's done a magnificent job at Bournemouth, and to keep him in the league. And I think people obviously forget the run that he actually went on as well. Yeah, Saints 100% there. I think people kind of forget the unbeaten run. that he had as well. And then obviously it did get a little bit pear-shaped after that. But Bournemouth could have easily got rid of him in January when all the the Bielsa rumours sort of started leaking out in the press. But you didn't. You kept him. You kept him on, and look where that's left you. You're sitting very comfortable now, in my honest opinion. I don't see Everton or Leicester sort of getting as points points to catch you. And let's be honest, like the teams down there, I think it's definitely between Leeds, Forest, Everton, Saints to go down. I really, really do. And I think as well, the fact that you're now on 36 points, I think you beat Leeds on Sunday. I really do. I think the fact that is at the vitality as well is absolutely important as well. And 39 points, you'd have to say, get one more point and you're up to 40 points, and that would be an amazing season, considering that I know a lot of people, myself included, did actually have you guys to obviously be relegated, but no, you've proven us wrong, and I have to say he has done a very, very good job, and I think with the players that he has actually had, I think he has improved a lot of players as well. Tavernier, the lad from Middlesbrough, I think he's been fabulous. Yeah. He has really, really been good. And he's actually done really well with Dominic Solanke as well. We all kind of knew that Dominic Solanke was kind of a striker that could hold up the ball, but he has actually hit the back of the net as well. So I think give him a pre-season, see how he does in the transfer window, and obviously see how you do, start next season.
I mean, definitely the players believe in him. I think that's one thing that's become clear, right? The players have played for him in a way that some of the other teams haven't. So you got to give him credit for that. The players that Foley brought in, I think, have been a big addition. I think we're going to be bringing quite a few in the off season. The only thing that worries me about giving Gary the pre-season and it doesn't work out is then you've lost the preseason with potentially another manager. But at the end of the day, what you or I or Craig or anybody else wants is really immaterial. It's the owner who's going to and Richard Hughes and Neil Blake who's going to decide. Yeah, definitely. It's funny, Doug, you say about Tavernier there. There is the man himself. Yeah. There is the man himself.
Yeah.
So,
cracking goal.
It was a cracking goal. It was a bit lucky. Come on, it was a deflection, wasn't it? I mean, it was. I think Tavernier would say he didn't get the best shot off. I mean, it was.
You've got to give the benefit to the attacker who's obviously gone on and scored it.
And he did. To be fair, he did come in and took the shot. I mean, it wasn't as good as the goal he scored the other week, though. That's
a worldie.
That was a worldie.
You'd never do that again. You tried.
Well, exactly. But I think he's been the best. Honestly, he's probably he and maybe Christie would be my choices for player of the season. I think Tab actually, because when he's played, we've won.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, that's true.
Well, let's have a look at the next slide. So I have a quick question for you. Would you put if we do stay up, like say we get 40, we win this game, and then would you start bringing in like giving Brooksy a chance to play most games so that he can get his match fitness back? I probably would do, but I think is he ready to play 90 minutes? Probably not. I think ease him into it, maybe 45 minutes. Certainly towards the end of the season. Maybe against Palace. Yeah. Maybe against Everton. Although Everton, I can imagine that is going to be quite a cauldron if they are still in trouble. Hopefully, we'll be.
No, Craig, they're gone. They're gone for me. I've seen their fixtures, and honestly, I don't see them getting any points from anywhere anytime soon. They've got Leicester away, Brighton away, Manchester City at home. They're obviously Bournemouth at home and Wolves away. Honestly, I can't see many points from those five. I really don't.
Okay, so
Well,
here's another question for you. Would you put Jay-Z in the last game or one of the last games so you can say goodbye?
no, I don't think he
He's
will
gone.
play again. I think
He's
that's
gone.
it. You know, I think it was disappointing how he actually how it was all announced. I know Udinese was mainly at fault, but there was 1 minute between them. And you know, do have a watch of that video that me and Matt did about Jay-Z, because you know I managed to get the screen grabs of those tweets, and I just thought it was very, very bad timing. You know, to be honest, Jay-Z initially didn't. You know, if it was kept private, you know, and he's taken a picture and used an AZ shirt ready for when it was going to be announced, that's fair enough. But the club have announced it, then he's retweeted it. That's the problem.
And the other problem is
Is this
he
Zamora?
didn't respond to the club's offers, and that's the part. You know, it's different from Jefferson, right? Jefferson probably will end up in Spain next year, but he's been honest about it.
Well, there's Leicester till I die, Chris. Well done. I think you're safe
Enjoy
again.
the championship, Leicester.
Well, this is the question. Big match for us versus Everton on Monday night. Personally, I think you'll beat them, Chris. Because
I
I
do
don't
as
think
well.
they're very good. I don't think they're very good at all.
I think it's going to be Leeds, Everton, and Southampton. I'm hoping actually Forest stay up, even though I don't like them for what they did last year. It's an easy 6 points next year.
Well, let's have a look at the next slide. So, of course, Tavs is definitely improving, but let's have a look at the next one. I'll just read this out. Gary O'Neill on Marcus Tavernier's injury. With Marcus Tavernier, obviously, we need to see how he is this morning. He said that was really disappointing aspect of the game last night, losing him to a hamstring injury. Yeah, to be honest, I'm gutted. It looks like he might be out for the season, but we shall see. Chris has said if we don't beat Everton, we deserve to go down. To be honest, I don't disagree with that. The only problem, and I will say this again, Everton have got us last game of the season. They'll be setting off fireworks. There'll be a horrible, hostile atmosphere. It's either going to go one of two ways: that the Everton players are going to completely shirk it and, you know, go within their shells and think, well, I don't really want to be here at the end of the season, a little bit like Anthony Gordon has, or they're going to be really, really, really fired up. And I think it'd probably be the second one.
The thing that I've heard about Everton, though, and I don't know if it's true or not, is that the management, not so much even the playing management, but the management side of it is a disaster. And that's which is a shame because they're going to have a brand new. They're going to have the biggest stadium in the championship.
Yeah, it's, to be honest, it's a complete and utter car crash, Everton, at the moment.
But so Southampton. I didn't realise yesterday how many people in Southampton are leaving the club. On the management side.
Exactly. John Hope, I'm not sure who John supports here, because I think he was on the other day, and I think he's come from the Harry Redknapp interview. Maybe, John, you might be able to confirm. I think John is an Everton fan. I might be wrong, but John, I might get that. I've got that wrong. I do apologise if I have, but I seem to remember that you are an Everton fan. Oh, maybe not then.
You probably just insulted him. He's probably a Liverpool fan.
He could well be. It could well be. No, I'm not. Oh, there we go. Nobody supports Everton, Doug. There we go. Let's have a look at these player ratings. So,
I'm a Bournemouth fan.
I'm a Bournemouth fan. Oh, there we go. I see. I didn't get. I didn't think. I was seeing the messages coming up. I didn't actually think that. Oh, Chris is saying Harry Redknapp. Did you have him on the show? You kept that quiet. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It's all in the description, and you can find them there. We better move on to the player ratings. Go on, Matt. You talk through them. Do you think they're fair? I think they should be a bit higher.
I do too. I'd give a Kelly an 8 because I think Kelly was brilliant last night. That block. I thought Sinise was a 7, probably the same as Mepham. Christie, I probably would give an 8 because I think he was all over the place yesterday.
I think they should be a bit higher.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Matt? Matt, we can't hear you.
To be fair, with most of them I agree with, apart from possibly Rothwell. I thought he was superb yesterday.
Yes, agree with that completely.
For me, he was man of the match. Yeah, to be fair, the rest of them I would say is about right.
I thought for me, Kelly, because he had a bad performance against West Ham, turned it around last night and made some blocks and some tackles and was doing really well. So for me, I would actually give my man of the match to Kelly.
Well, there we are. John Hope played for Bournemouth Youth in 1981.
So
Sorry, John.
So John, was that before Mark Redknapp and Jamie? It probably was, wasn't it?
That's an interesting one, actually.
Because Jamie and Mark both played.
No deflection.
Okay. No deflection. All right. I take it back, Rob. I've learned years ago never argue with Rob Trent.
Let's have a look at the next slide. How good was Rothwell versus Saints? Matt's man of the match? I can see why you say that.
Yeah. I mean, he was good. Before Jamie, okay.
What did you reckon, Liam?
Yeah, he did well.
Who was your man of the match yesterday, mate?
Probably Kelly.
Kelly? No, that's a fair point, actually. I thought Billing had, Billing was hustling and bustling, but it didn't really get much luck. I thought Christie looked very, very good. I really did think Christie looked good. But Tavs, for me, whenever he had the ball, looked threatening. He really did look threatening. So, yeah, I would go with Tavs. Ray Tickets put, I think Vina was great. Must play against Leeds. Will impress. Looking to stay here. Paul from Oz. Do you know what? Vina, does he start against Leeds?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Let's have a look at the next slide. Matt, you might as well tell us why you thought Rodwell.
Sorry, say again.
You might as well tell us why you thought Rodwell as well.
I just thought his passing, his energy. He's a great player, and he's had to bide his time to really cement a place in this squad.
Yes.
Obviously, he had the injury at the beginning of the season, and he's had to bide his time, and now he's taking his opportunity with both hands. And like I was saying, when we were playing West Ham, it was a shame he went off at half time.
Very unlucky to come off.
Yeah, he was very unlucky.
He was injured though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was injured. But the way he was spraying the ball around, I mean, the passer of the ball, he's fantastic passer of football. Really is. So yeah, for me yesterday, it's just all that energy he had, and the passing, is willing to attack. That's just what we need. We need to be doing that for the whole 90 minutes, not start sitting back for the last sort of 10, 12, 15 minutes that we did yesterday, and then invite the pressure on ourselves when we're only 1-0 up. And thank God VAR for once.
It's a good point. It's a good point you make there, mate, because, to be fair, it was worrying at the end. I just thought, what we need to do, get it on the deck, and play out, keep the ball, because we were, and even Matchday Vlog said this as well, because I watched their stream, really, really interesting. And they said, Southampton's passing was all over the place. They just didn't. They couldn't really piece 3 passes together. However, with ourselves, we were passing it around. We were very, very acute. We knew what we was doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that probably hits nail on the head. This is what the gaffer had to say.
Can I just say something? I'm just glad Che Adams has a big foot.
He's a championship striker.
He is. Well, he will be next season. Gary said, I thought we were excellent. We were by far the better side, and I was disappointed we had to hang on at the end because we'd only scored 1. O'Neill told BBC Match of the Day, we were pretty dominant throughout, and then of course there is going to be some desperation from Southampton at the end with the situation they're in. It was nice to get 3 points in what was a huge game. There was a lot of there are a lot of points still to play for. We're not going to settle on 36. O'Neill added, we need to keep pushing and get as many as we can, hopefully to secure safety as early as possible. By the way, I think we do have a Southampton fan in the room, in Yasmin. Let me just quickly bring her in. Hello, Yasmin, you all right?
Hi.
How you doing?
I don't know. I don't even want to talk to any of you.
Oh, bless you. No, thank you so much for coming on. Has it been that bad all season?
It's been so deflating. It's horrible to go and watch these games. Like, you're paying like hard-earned money to go and watch these games, and I go home and away. So sometimes you'll be traveling all the way to Newcastle, Manchester, whatever, and sometimes it's, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word or not, but sometimes it's utter dross. Like, it's so bad. And we used to be really unpredictable to the point where no one knew what we could bring, and then now we're so predictable that everyone knows we're going to lose. So it's just so disheartening.
Except against Arsenal, you were superb, right?
But then what happened? What happened the following week? He's changed it all again, and that seems to happen. We turn up to like the big 6, shall we say, and then when it's the other teams, like 6 down, God knows.
So who do you blame? Who's to blame?
Everyone. You can't just purely blame the manager. Like, yes, he is a big factor. You can't just blame him. It's the players, it's the owners, it's everything at the minute. And unfortunately, we've been lucky the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons max. And, that's pretty much curtains on us now. Like, it's time.
It's actually, I think I was looking at some statistics. It's like after 5, 6, 9 years, I mean, there is a time that everybody ends up being relegated, except for the big 6, of course, right? And you've got to keep investing in your squad. You've got to keep investing in your management, and you've got to keep growing the club if you want to stay in the division. That's what makes the Premier. I mean, it's one thing Americans don't really understand, right? Because in the States, we don't have relegation. You just get higher draft picks if you're bad. It's that relegation. You've got to keep investing to stay there, which I think is the best thing in the world.
we have invested. We've spent a lot of money, but we've gone for younger players, which sometimes, that's great, but you still need experience. You need someone who's able to take control of the team and guide them in the right direction. But we've never fully replaced. How I'm just trying to think now. We've never replaced Lambert, Ings, Mane, Lamina, all of them.
So you can come down next season and you can watch James Ward-Prowse play for us, right?
He won't go to you.
If we offer him enough money.
I've got a feeling where I know he might go. I hope he doesn't, but I've got a feeling I think he will go to Newcastle.
Yeah, I think that's where he'll go too.
Yasmin, do you think if you kept hold of Ralph Hasenhüttl, and didn't sack him and bring in Nathan Jones, do you think you'd be
Don't mention that name.
Sorry.
Oh my! Oh, I felt my blood pressure just go up like just a little bit. Then as soon as you mentioned that name.
Sorry.
I think the thing is, it's really difficult because Ralph was such like a nice guy, and you could see he genuinely cared about the club. He cared about the fans. He had a lot of passion in that fight, and you could just see that. Unfortunately, I believe he took the team as far as he could. But I don't know what the club were playing out with that Nathan Jones project. That was absolutely ridiculous. Like, we had the World Cup. Well, obviously everyone had the World Cup. So that was theoretically a pre-season. You could have got the team meshing. You could have, got them used to the manager. Hopefully not Nathan Jones, but yeah, getting them used to the manager and then start the season again. But what did they do? Nathan Jones comes in. Oh, have a 2-week holiday, mate. Have fun. Yeah, see you later. And then it just went. Oh, I'm not even going to say any naughty words, I promise.
No, go for it, Yasmin. Honestly, it
went to shit.
So I'm guessing you probably would agree. I'm sorry to say this. Probably would agree that you're down.
I would say last night that was curtains for us, definitely.
But next season, firstly, does Ruben Sellis stay on? And
no.
Secondly, no.
No. Well, as soon as he was appointed the manager, I was a bit like, again, I'm sure you're a nice guy, but just because you've beaten one team, that doesn't make you a first team manager. Like, he has no experience in the Premier League or as a first team manager. Why would you give him like the biggest role in his life after one game? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Like, yeah. And I just I got interviewed quite a bit and people asking me, do you think he's the right appointment? And I said, you'll know at the end of the season. I was like, ask me at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I was kind of amazed that, but then we appointed Gary, right? And so you could argue he had the same amount of experience. For one team, it's worked out. For the other team, it hasn't.
Yeah.
Was it pretty? I heard the board of directors box in the stadium yesterday was getting a lot of abuse from Saints fans. Is that true, or you were too far away?
I'm in Northern, so obviously next to the away fans, but right. I didn't hear anything, and I haven't heard anything on social media, but it doesn't surprise me at all.
You heard the Bournemouth fans loud and clear, right?
Yeah, although I've seen on social media that you guys were singing the whole time, and I need to throw it out there, you weren't. There were times you were quiet as well, so.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was quite funny when you let the flare off, though, and then obviously the goal was disallowed, and we were like, oh dear.
And then we had the same reaction when your goal was offside, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to admit though, like looking at VAR, his big toe was offside. That's not fair. If he was a shoe size smaller, that would have been onside.
I just said before that I was glad that Jay Adams had a big foot.
That's what I don't like. I don't agree with VAR. Like, unless it is clear and obvious, like they state, it ruins the game. I'm sorry, but it does. Not just for a Saints fan, just in general for football.
I think we've had our share of things that we've done. We're still the only team that hasn't had a penalty awarded all season. Last night, I don't know how we weren't given a penalty.
Yeah.
I think the problem is the consistency, and I think the other problem is they need to explain their decisions, right? So, like in rugby or cricket, you get a comment, you get a feedback on it. There's nothing. It's just like, this is the decision.
Yeah, that I think that's always been our argument as well. Like, if you're gonna tell us, or if there is going to be an interference in the game, obviously it comes up on screen, VAR checking, and we're all like, oh right, here we fucking go again. Why don't they just say, like when you can hear them? Sometimes, like, it's rugby, isn't it, where you can hear exactly what they're saying and what they're discussing. Like, why can't you do that? But then sometimes there's been I can't remember what game it was. It was a couple of weeks ago. It was at home. It's going to annoy me now. But we were waiting for like 7-8 minutes.
That's
and we were just like, what? And then, but when it comes to added time, they only added about 5. Make it make sense.
And it also shouldn't take 8 minutes. Like in cricket, I mean, I was watching cricket. It's, they look at it once or twice and that's it. They make the decision, right?
Yeah.
If it's taking 8 minutes, then you shouldn't be making that decision to change something because it's obviously not clear.
Yeah, but what do we know?
But the other thing that I just want to let you know is that if you go down and we stay up, it will be the only season ever in the history of the football that Southampton will be below Bournemouth in a division.
Oh,
that is true.
God, we're going to be sandwiched in between you and Pompey.
Well, if you go down again, you play Pompey.
Yeah, well, just Pompey, they're irrelevant. If there's any Pompey people listening, yeah, you're irrelevant.
I thought we were irrelevant. Everybody says it's not a derby, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's a derby to the point what they're saying it's a derby. Like, you're not our rivals. It's not like a rivalry between us. It's just, geographically, like, yes, because it's Dorset and Hampshire, I can understand like that kind of like derby, but I don't know, because it's just, I don't look at Bournemouth and be like, oh yeah, like they're our rivals. Like,
I think it's a friendly rivalry. I think that's the.
I don't know the way it's getting now. We might as well be in Football Factory.
I wouldn't worry, Yasmin. Portsmouth aren't going anywhere. Maybe League Two.
I have to say that I've never been to St Mary's, but I went years ago to the Dell, and I still miss the Dell. The Dell for me was an old-fashioned football stadium.
Loved the Dell. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, you could reach it by train easily, right?
What I'll do is we'll go through the rest of these slides. Let me bring them back up. How do we do this? Oh, there we go.
So I'm officially working, by the way. So if I'm looking at my email,
are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing some work as well, David.
Yeah, I'm multitasking because it's only 5 o'clock here. So.
Oh, John Hope actually played at the Dell.
Wow.
There we are. Oh. Yeah. Wouldn't be able to do if you're an Everton fan, would you, Doug?
Oh dear.
Oh dear, I'm not going to be able to let that down. Right, let's go to the next one. So the Gary O'Neill saga is continuing, and this is an interesting one actually, Yasmin, because of course you've said about Ruben Sellis. And of course, his inexperience. Of course, Gary O'Neill didn't have much experience, but he's kept us up. And he took over after 4 games.
But he got, in my argument then, if you look at, so Ruben Sellis worked with Ralph, and he was his assistant.
Yeah.
Ralph, wasn't doing great near the end. The last season with Ralph was pretty bad. Ruben's learnt from him. So maybe that's what it is. It's, he's a creature of comfort. He's done what he believes is best, and that's through Ralph. And then that's why we're in the position that we're in. And others have done, like yourselves, you've done well. So that's all I can really say on that.
No, fair enough.
I don't know. I'm not a football manager, evidently.
Yeah. I'll go around the rest of you. Liam, Gary O'Neill, contract extension, happy with it for the time being, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably with you that I think, he deserves a bit of time at the start of next season. If it is going pear-shaped, then I think that we need to make a change quite early on.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I think, first of all, I think it's great that he's got an extension, because even if we decide he's not the right person, he should get paid for what he's done, and he should get paid out. But I think what you do at the end of the season is you look at where do you want to go, what managers are available, and who do you want to be the person taking us forward. You know, it may be that it's Gary, but I don't think you just say automatically it's Gary. I think you start off with the new season and you make it. The owner makes a judgment call depending on where he wants the club to go.
Yeah. Well, let's go on to the next one. Well, this is one for you, Yasmin.
More
we are.
questions.
More questions. Sorry, you're getting them all now, aren't you? Jack Stevens. Jack Stevens. What do you think?
It's difficult because he's done really well for Bournemouth, but his like little comments that he made recently, now a lot of fans are like, no, don't want you back, even though you're on loan, don't want you back, like, go away. I think we miss him, to be honest. Like, he's not always, done amazing, but in the right situation with the right team, like Bournemouth, he's proved himself and he's got the potential. But yeah, I think we miss him. But
I think he'd be a great player in the Championship.
Yeah, I think a lot of them will be.
Who will you lose, do you think?
Oh God, how long have we got? I think Prowsey might go, and that will be really sad because to me, he's Southampton. Like as soon as you think of Southampton Football Club, you'll think of Prowsey.
He reminds me of Mick Shannon in the old days, right? Like you associate him with Southampton.
Yeah, I think Prowsey maybe. I think Lavia will go. Che will probably go. Adam Armstrong will go. I hope Elianusi goes. I think Theo will stay. Bella Kocher, I think he'll go. I'm saying a lot of goes. I think a lot of them will leave. And I know some of the new players are having their clauses. If we get relegated, they're free to go. So,
do you have a lot of youth players who could come up?
We've got our youth players are absolutely brilliant, and like our B team, they've just won like they're champions of like the PL2. So I don't see why we just don't try some of the youngsters. To be honest, like we've tried everything else. Why, give them a go. And
well, I think you would need. It's what you said earlier. I think you would maybe use them as a core, but you need some experienced Championship players to help hold them.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, even though like the Premier League, it's the best league in the world, but the Championship is the hardest league in the world to get out of. Like
actually,
once you're in it, sometimes
I would actually say the Championship is the best league in the world because
you've been
on any given day, any team can win, and any other teams could get promoted. Right? It's not like the Premier League where we know that 9 times out of 10 it's going to be one of the big 6 that wins it.
Yeah, but look at Leicester.
That's true.
That's the thing. I like that. I do. I love the Premier League and the Championship. Like we had really good days, and like the away days are really fun. But like I said, it comes with the good and the bad, like all the time, no matter what league you're in. Good, bad, ugly. I'm still going to be there. It doesn't matter what league. I'm still there. I might bitch and moan about it, but I'll still be there.
I have no desire to go back to League 2 ever.
Well, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. I don't fancy. Well, to be honest, when we was there, it was Darlington, Barnet. Who else was there? Chester, team that don't even exist anymore. You name them. Was Hereford in that league as well, Matt? If I remember correctly.
They were in League 2, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible days.
I mean, the one problem in League 2 is the standard of football isn't very good. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't ever want to go back to those days, and hopefully you never will. Here's the actual scores from the weekend, all on the screen. I think you probably, well, not the weekend, the midweek results, isn't it?
Yeah,
That
midweek.
throws me there for a minute. Everton, of course, thrashed at Newcastle. Is a big one for all the teams down the bottom. Forest winning, though, is a surprise one. And of course, Leeds and Leicester draw.
I think Forest is going to stay up.
Forest stay up.
Yep.
We shall find out.
Their home form will keep them up. I'm not so sure their away form will.
Yeah, that is true.
But
they did look good.
If you win all your home games, it's still points, right?
Well, yeah, true. And there is the table as it stands.
Rub it in.
Sorry, Yasmin.
We need to keep seeing that.
Oh, look who's at the bottom.
I'll remove it for you. Don't you worry. And of course, we did mention VAR as well, didn't we? We'll do this quickly. Actually, this will be an interesting one to get your thoughts of, Yasmin. And here we go. The penalty was given against Lloyd Kelly against Nottingham Forest. Penalty given against Zamora against West Ham. Penalty not given in that one. Penalty not given. That was Aston Villa, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Penalty given. That was against Liverpool. Was that against Liverpool?
Yeah, that's when Salah missed it.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
7 miles high.
And yes, right. So there was 2 yesterday. Were either of them penalties, Yasmin?
I wouldn't say that one's a penalty, because if you look at the position of his hand, it's not in like an unnatural position. Like, you could see he's going to turn, so that's the way like his body will move in, and that's where his hand is. Like, and you can see his eyes.
Yeah.
Wow, you can just about see his eyes. They're not on the ball, so I wouldn't have given that as a penalty personally.
Fair enough. What about the Bella Kotchap one, where he's hit his head, it's rolled down his body, and then it looks like he's flicked the ball up with his hands? But am I being a bit unfair?
Do we have a photo of it? Because that was probably down the other end, and I'm at the other end, so half the time I was just eye rolling yesterday, like the second half.
Photo of it. I don't think we have got a photo of that one, unfortunately, have we?
That was the one I was trying to look for a photo for. But
yeah.
Oh, that means it didn't happen. No penalty.
No, I was about to say though. I think Gary O'Neill said. I think this was a good thing. In his eyes, it wasn't necessarily a penalty, but other decisions have gone against us where they have given penalties. So I think what Gary's saying is, let's get consistency, right? You can't have a situation where you give it in one case and you don't give it in another, or vice versa. That's what people are frustrated about.
But they also say that with the actual penalty taking is like in the FA rules, it's called, I'm going to get the word in wrong and it's really embarrassing. I think it's called something like fainting or something. And you know, when they run on the spot to see the reaction of the goalkeeper and then they take the shot, you're not allowed to do that in the FA rules, but they all seem to do it. So again, they need to be consistent with actual penalty taking, because, well, that's not fair either. I don't really like penalties, to be honest. Like, it's not always fair, is it? Like, I know, like, yeah, it's a free kick and this, whatever, but
I like it when we score, and I hate it when we miss, and I hate it when the other team scores. So that depends on my view on penalties.
Yeah, I like it when we score, but it's just it's not always fair, especially when it's like a team sport and it's down to like 1-on-1.
But
a lot of time,
from a Bournemouth perspective, we don't even know what a penalty is this year because we haven't been given.
Yeah, but now you've mentioned that you're going to get a penalty like this weekend. Mark my words, you will know.
I'll take it against Leeds.
Oh, it would be good if we did against Leeds, because Yeah, there's not much of love lost between us, is there?
I'm going to watch the Bar game at Leeds Bar in Washington DC, and I think who's the player who came over playing for DC United now? He left Leeds.
Klisch?
He's going down to apparently he's going to the Bar to watch the game too. So I'm going to give him a hard time.
Here we go. Question from Paul. Do you lads and Yasmin think some players are mastering the art of aiming for other players' arms?
No.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't. People are going for goal, and no, I can't believe.
If you can see one of the players, if they're like running, like however they're running with their hands in the air, if you aimed for that, I can guarantee you will get something out of it because you've got like. Honestly, I do. I think they're onto it. You know, most of them think they're bloody Tom Daley when they're diving, so I don't see the.
I was about to say, Tom Daley could give Jack Grealish lessons on diving.
Oh, God, him and
I've never seen a footballer flop as much as Grealish.
What do you reckon, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what a bloody handball is anymore. Anyway, I don't think anybody does. So, I just think they keep changing the rule with the handballs every single week. And obviously, we've obviously seen the slides there. Some of them have been given, and some have. Honestly, I don't know what a handball is anymore.
I think what people want is consistency, right? They want like, what is a handball? If you're going to say your hand is out and it hits it, that's a handball. Fine. If it's down by your side, it's not a handball. Fine. But just be consistent. Don't like, oh, this one's a handball, but this one isn't.
Yeah, most definitely. And the consistency thing is the big one, isn't it? Liam, what do you make of handballs? You know, to be honest, there is no consistency. Would you agree?
No, there's not.
And Matt, what do you reckon?
Well, I've said to you before, Craig, and there's no consistency with any of it, is there?
Yeah. We're always stood there at the back of Dean Court, aren't we, having a moan when something happens.
No consistency with it at all. And
maybe they should come up with some technology, right, that puts sensors on players' hands with the ball, so when it hits the hand, you know.
Yeah, could do with something like that.
I think you might have to patent that one, to be honest, David. Well, I don't know how much more we can talk about this game because it's, of course, a massive 3 points for us. Sorry, Yasmin.
So can I just say the best thing for me is I went to the reverse in October and I saw Southampton beat us in Bournemouth, and then I saw them lose to West Ham. So I was really happy to see us get the reverse fixture today.
Yeah. Yeah, better than one.
But you know, Yasmin, fingers crossed for you for next season. You know, we as much as you know, some Bournemouth fans will turn around and take the mick out of this. You know, we will miss you next season. That's the thing.
Oh, it's recorded as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I even said that, actually I did a little video yesterday. I was proud as punch, had a big smile on my face, but to be honest, we will miss Southampton next season.
Yeah, because again, right?
What's that?
I was going to say, because it was 6 easy points. That's why we'll miss them.
You might be joining us next season, or the season afterwards.
Say again?
You might be joining us like the season afterwards.
Nah, Bill Foley's got plans for us. We're going to be in Europe.
I wouldn't get ahead of yourself, David. I'm not thinking about that yet. But yeah,
I will give you a quote that actually comes from Bill Foley. He's from Texas, and he says, "I didn't buy Bournemouth. I didn't buy Bournemouth to watch paint dry." He's got plans.
Yeah. What do we
We
reckon
shall
those
see.
plans are?
What do I think those plans are? I think he wants us to be in the top 10. And I think down the road, challenging for a European place. I don't think we have the money to be able to challenge for the title, but maybe a cup.
Mm-hmm. No, fair enough. Fair enough. And,
I want whatever you're taking.
Say that again?
I want whatever you're on.
It's called American optimism, right? I've lived in America.
That's it.
I've lived in
That's it.
America for 30
Optimism.
years.
Forgot about that.
Well, I think we better round it up there because we've been on for another 2 hours and 15 minutes now, haven't we? We've had a tour of a record shop, haven't we? That was quite interesting. Honestly, anything goes here, Yasmin. So, what we'll do is, David, I'm sure we'll see you again after the Leeds fixture. I'm sure we'll be doing. Will we be doing a free for all on Sunday evening, Matt? We can't hear you, Matt. I love this when this happens.
That's because there was some interference. I didn't know if it was my mic or not. But yeah, 8
Oh.
o'clock on Sunday evening.
8 o'clock on Sunday evening. There we go. We're doing this all again. So yeah.
Hopefully we will have dented Leeds permanently back into the Championship.
Well,
hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. They've got
All right, guys.
horrible running. So yeah, thank you again, David.
No problem. Have a good day.
Cheers. Doug, thank you again, mate, for coming on.
Pleasure.
To be honest, we haven't really been paying much attention to Liverpool and what you're doing at the top of the table there for a little while. What's on the horizon? Or not much, really.
Try and win every single game as possible to try and get top four. I honestly don't see us getting top four at this rate, but we're still in the race. That's the main thing. We are still in the race. But I think our target now is to probably try and get at Manchester United. I think they're a little bit inconsistent recently. So I think if we get top four, we get top four. But if we as long as we get Europe, I'll be happy. But it has been a bit of a car crash season. But good to get 3 wins in a row. We haven't done that all season, so that was good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, no doubt I'll see you again. Feel free to come on after the Leeds game on Sunday at 8 o'clock. There you are. Matt has organised it, so it will be happening. It will be happening. So yeah, feel free to come on again if you're available.
I shall. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. Our pleasure, mate. See you
See you
later.
later. Bye bye.
And Liam, thank you so much for coming on, mate. It's always, a pleasure when you come on, and thank you again. Are you going to be back after the Leeds game?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent, good stuff, and hopefully 3 more points, mate.
3-0 on Sunday.
3-0 against Leeds.
Yes.
Do you know what I said earlier on in my preview? I reckon it's probably going to be a draw, which isn't going to do Leeds any favours whatsoever. But I reckon, are they going to go for the low block? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think they're going to come at us, though. So,
I do.
Do you think Leeds will come at us?
Yeah.
That might play into our. Do you think that will play into our favour?
Am I answering that as a Saints fan, or are you answering that?
Go on, you can answer it, Yasmin. Go for it.
All right. I don't know. I think it might play in your favour, but I think that they're doing really well when it comes to like gaining the points. So every point matters at the minute. So I reckon they're going to go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully they won't get the better of us. Oh, Liam, one thing that we always do. I've been compared to. What have I been compared to? Paddy from Emmerdale.
Paddy Kirk and a poor man's James Corden.
Poor man's James Corden. I don't look like James Corden in the bloody slightest. You're David Brent and Omid Darji.
Yeah,
We've got one for you now, Liam.
Yeah.
Liam looks like Tom Skinner from The Apprentice. Gosh. And do you know what, Liam? That's the kindest one out of the whole lot of them, because every other one is horrendous.
No, I would say Liam looks like Sal out of Impractical Jokers.
Actually, I can see that. I can see that. Well, Liam, thank you so much, mate. And we'll see you after the Leeds game, no doubt. See you later, mate. Take care. And then there was 3. You enjoyed that, didn't you?
I did. I love getting involved in all this kind of stuff. I've got more of a face for radio. That's why I tend to go on the radio. But no, it's quite fun.
No,
I was on BBC 5 Live earlier, like 7:30 earlier. So yeah, I'm always on there. BBC Solent, like all the time. So it's fun, really fun.
Fancy coming on after we play Leeds?
Have I got to talk about Bournemouth and Leeds?
Well, you can talk about.
We've got our game on Sunday.
Well, yeah, you can come on and talk.
Saints and Newcastle.
Yeah, come on and talk about that. No doubt.
I might have a few drinks and cry.
No, thank you so much for coming on, and you're always welcome on here.
Thank
no
you.
problem at all. It's been a pleasure, and good laugh, and thank you so much.
No, you're very welcome. Right, I might speak to you on Sunday then.
All right, I'll speak to you on Sunday. See you later, Yasmin. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And then there was 2, and Max Cowlard was trying to get on, but
I keep kicking him out because it's the end of the show. We're not doing an end of the show. We are done.
Oh, come on, Max, come on for a minute. Come on for a minute.
No, I'm going home. I'm done.
Going home. Done. You are home.
Oh yeah, I am home. See, I've got this terrible cold thing, and yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll speak to Max for a second. But Matt.
Right.
Oh, he's just been kicked out again. But yeah. No, thanks again, mate. We'll sort this out on what day is it? Sunday. Do you know what? It's thrown me completely because, of course, it's Friday today.
Yeah.
Friday day. Yeah. It's this used to be years ago, going out into Cameo and getting piss day.
Basically, yeah, it used to be. Yeah, when about 10 years ago, when I was 10 years younger. Yeah.
And the rest.
Yeah. No, it's been an interesting one. We've done a bit of bargain hunt.
Done a bit of bargain hunt. Honestly, guys, if you're just watching the end of this, go and watch. Halfway through, and we see. What did we have?
Oh, we had vinyl.
Vinyls. We've had everything. Limp Biscuits, things as well. I'll tell you what. Unbelievable. Well, we will be doing this at 8 o'clock on Sunday. Also, if you go onto the channel now, there should be a new video. A new video. Go on, Matt. I'll tell you what. Let me make you full screen and you can tell everybody what it is.
Yep, so just gone live now. It's the first of a 2-part special where we are looking back on the 25th anniversary of the Wembley final for the Auto Windscreen Shield. So part 1 is now live. It went live at 10 o'clock tonight. And part 2 shall be premiering tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. That's a watch along and some other bits and pieces.
And also your contributions as well. I tell you what, you said that perfectly. I tell you what, Phil and Holly could not do the same as that. Just the way you said it. I just think,
And I've got a cold.
And you've got a cold. See,
Yeah.
even more of an expert, mate. Even more of an
Exactly.
expert. We will be we will be going to the Leeds game.
We certainly will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will be there. So, you know,
In Boscombe East Con for a few pints beforehand.
Boscombe East Con. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. I just
turn up and drink.
Just turn up there and drink like a fish.
Yeah.
Here's a question for everybody. You know, put this in the comments. Don't put in the thing on there at the moment. But that is absolutely fine, Liam. Absolute pleasure, mate. And you're always welcome. How many pints will I drink on Sunday? Max will not Max. Max probably will be keeping count on it as well. But Matt, shall we reveal it on Sunday evening?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with meeting at 11:45. I'm going to go with 6.
6. Is it open at 11:45?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the time of meeting.
Fucking hell, it's pint for breakfast.
Oh, dear. Pint for breakfast, nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. And you're welcome, Paul. Paul, please do come on anytime you want. We'd be more than happy to have you on here. But yeah, absolutely lovely people, lovely show again. Great to have a Southampton fan.
Yeah.
We might even be able to convert her into a cherry. I think she's. But there we are. But until the next show, from me and Matt, we are signing out. Up the cherries, and we'll see you in the next one when, hopefully, another 3 points. Sounds
yes.
nice, don't it? Yeah. Let's go get them.